Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, the Black Business School. I wanted to say hello, and I hope you guys are having a good day, good morning, good evening, whichever one it is for you. I don't know if you're watching the live event or if you're watching the recording, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's all the same stuff, same information, same everything. I want to say hello to Pebble 559 and the Uncanny Sublime. Shout out your city right quick. Whatever city you're from, shout out the city, and if I see your city, I'm gonna shout it back. Let's see. I see Marie Taylor is in here. How you doing, Marie? I see Prawl Season. How are you? Let's see. Lovely Kia. How are you? And Space Agents from Augusta, Georgia. Let's see. Marie, what city are you from? I see Philly, LA. Okay, I love Philly and LA. I go to Philly all the time. Let's see here. I see Hartford, NYC, Oakland, Ados, Vegas. Okay, Cleve Apollo. I see you. I see you. Al Rasal, Houston, Arletha, LA, Fall Season, Tampa, Florida. Cam, Chicago. Renee, Chicago. Deldra, Chicago. Compton in the house. Augusta, Georgia. Little Rock, Arkansas. Let's see what else. I see Rochester, New York, Jackson, Mississippi, Indianapolis, Denver, Boston. Eric from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hello, Rafiki. How are you? I see Omaha. Nick Nakia says, love that show. Yes. Yeah. So let me jump to the topic. Let me tell you guys what was on my mind. And I did this because I'm a big believer that Black people that have platforms, I don't have the biggest platform in the world, but it's my shit. It belongs to me, and I can reach 1 million Black people a week all by myself, probably more. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't matter if I'm reaching, 1 million Black people or 2 Black people. I think that platform should be used to elevate Black intelligence, because as you know, this platform, Dr. Boyce TV, is designed for intelligent Black people. So if you're not Black and you're not intelligent, then you might want to get the fuck out. Ignorance is allowed, but you got to be ignorant with the goal of being intelligent. You ain't got to be Black, but don't be coming in here with this white supremacy stuff, because Black power is in full effect. Black excellence is in full effect. Black people are running every ounce of this mug. Okay, I see Ireland. That's new. That's interesting. All right, good to see you. Y'all, I don't know if I told you guys, but I took one of those DNA tests, and I found out that I was like part Irish, and I was like, what the man, what is this shit? But anyway, it's like some of these DNA tests are like just reminders that, your ancestors got raped. Like they're just reminders that, people were doing a Cardi B, Bill Cosby on your damn great grandparents. It's just kind of crazy, because I ain't nothing about me that gets excited on St. Patrick's Day. But yes, I do have like a little Irish. It don't even sound right. I'm just gonna stop saying that. But anyway, so let me. Okay, Robin says it says me too. All right, well, top of the morning to you, little leprechaun. Let's see, Boyce, you are becoming more of a gossip like women do. However, I like your Dr. Anderson platforms. Yeah, you are white. LOL. Okay, Howard Johnson. You almost sounded like a troll for a minute. And I got moderators in there that will set your ass on fire if you come in here talking shit. So watch your steps, buddy. Watch your steps. Anyway, so let me talk about this show, Black Lightning. I felt the need to talk about this. I'm not going to really talk about assets and LLCs and all that. If you want to dig into stuff like that, we've got a ton of classes in the Black Business School. You can actually get started in the Black Business School for free. I don't know if you guys know that. There are classes that have a small fee. It's less than a cheeseburger, like literally less than $3 a day, and you get college level education. What university on this planet can you go to and get access to people like myself and Dr. Claude Anderson, plus a long line of Black economic experts from every dimension? Brian Raspberry is breaking down real estate like nobody else. You got people that like attorney Tanya Nebo, who has literally done probably 200 hours of content on how to buy a franchise. That's my next business move. You want to know what I'm thinking about business wise? My next move is I'm gonna get a franchise. Franchises are great businesses because they're like businesses in a box. The business model is already set up. A good movie. I'm gonna give you a small little quick business tip that I think you might want to check out. Danielle Pierce. Bad Black woman. Her website is economicelevation.com. She does stuff on Fly Nubian Queen TV. And basically, if you want to know what the master plan is, basically, I was a college professor for 20 years, and I didn't like the way Black people were being taught at white universities. So I said, why not create something of our own and reach the whole world and really make it so that as a standard in every Black family, we're all being educated on financial literacy. That's what matters for us. That's what matters. So anyway, if you want to get started, feel free to go to theblackbusinessschool.com, THE, theblackbusinessschool.com. You can start for free. Also, I'm doing a special seminar on Monday night, breaking down how to develop an economic plan for your children. It's called a BEEP. That's 3 E's instead of 2, 3 E's, BEEP, and it stands for Black Economic and Educational Excellence Plan. And this is a plan that replaces the college savings plan and actually gives your child more flexible options without falling into the debt trap that's ruining Black wealth. Black wealth in this generation is actually being destroyed largely because of student loans. This helps you avoid that problem. And feel free to go check it out. If you're interested, go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. All right, so let me go in here and hit the thumbs up button as I get started in this conversation. I had to do this video because I felt like I just had to go out and really talk about this, and just to show support to the brothers and the sisters that made this great show. The great show that I was in there watching with Dr. Alicia, and we've just fallen in love with a show called Black Lightning. This show, I think it comes on the CW network. Some of y'all seen it. Let me know if you've seen it. Let me know if you've seen it and you like it, or you've heard of it, or something like that. Or just let me, or if you haven't seen it, like, let me know if you haven't seen it, because I don't know if I'm telling you something that you already know, or if I'm telling you something new. Either way, I felt compelled to tell you because I believe in supporting things that reflect our community in a positive light. This is an excellent show. I mean, this show is unlike any other show that I've ever seen on TV. It was created by a Black couple, Salim Akil and his wife put the show together. Salim Akil apparently is a brilliant Black man. He's conscientious enough to create something very special. Now, I did hear about some weird scandal involving some Me Too stuff, but y'all know how I feel about that. If you ain't got the proof, then you need to get some proof. If you don't have proof, then I can't really. I'm not going to give you credit for telling me something if you don't have proof. So basically, he's got this weird lawsuit going on with a woman who says that all these things happen in private, but again, there's no proof. So you don't know what's really going on, So anyway, you guys can look that up, and I've done a video about it. But I just want to say that this brother definitely, and his wife, they deserve credit for creating what I think is the best show on TV. So no matter what happens with Salim's situation, I hope this show stays on. I hope it keeps its original vision. And actually, I'm gonna lay out a few reasons specifically. I like to be specific in terms of telling you exactly why I like something. I was like saying that I like it, I'm giving you exactly why. So anyway, I made a short little list. The first thing that I like about the show is I like the fact that it reflects a strong Black family. You don't really see a lot of shows on TV now that have Black families with both parents. Most shows are like struggle TV. You know what I mean? Like bullshit struggle TV, where they reflect the Black struggle in a way that is like putting Black mental illness on display. Or I think like reality TV is the worst at that. But a lot of shows kind of give you this impression that either you have to create something that is sort of deep in the struggle, where there's no hope in anything getting better and everything is all totally fucked up, or it's like something that's like pure fantasy, like like the Huxtables. And I love the Cosby Show, by the way. I still think it's a great show, but one obvious and I think fair critique of the show is to say that why must you assume that every Black person it fits into this certain box, the doctor lawyer box, the highly educated box, the HBCU box. What Black Lightning does that I really like is it gives Black people back their humanity. It shows good Black people, it shows evil Black people, it shows most of the characters are complex enough that you can get a chance to get to understand them in a deep way. But they just sort of just show this broad range of Blackness that I think is just beautiful. You don't watch the show thinking all Black people are thugs. You don't watch the show thinking all Black people are good. You watch the show thinking that all Black people are human. And then sometimes even what they call meta-human, right? Superheroes, right? So that's another cool thing, right? You got these Black superheroes that are living the superhero life and doing these superhero things. So it's a really good superhero show. I put it ahead of the Black Panther. I like the Black Panther, but the Black Panther in its politics got a little bit weird in the whole African versus African American thing, where you're talking about this really fucked up, destructive, horrible kid who grew up without a mama, you know, or without parents or whatever it was. I know he didn't have a daddy. I don't know if he had a mom. A Killmonger, right? And Killmonger, when Killmonger comes in, he's all evil. They playing the rap music because every black man who identifies with rap music is filled with toxic masculinity, and he slaps he finds the sacred priestess and slaps her in the face. He just kind of, like sort of basically feeding the narrative that sends so many black people to prison. When they see a black man on trial, when all white jury sees a black man on trial, that's what's playing in their head. They're thinking, if you even resemble in the least that rapper I saw on TV who was bragging about how many people he killed, then I'm going to assume that you must have committed the crime also, right? And it permeates our culture. Like, for example, I was sitting next to a kid on an airplane the other day. I was flying Spirit Airlines, and I did a short video telling you guys, like, do not fly Spirit because they will nickel dime the fuck out of you. Like, it was ridiculous. I think we paid $350 as a family for like extra fees. Like the carry-on bags were $55 a piece. The check bags were $50. Who charges more for a carry-on than a check bag? It's crazy. Then you have to pay for water. I had to pay to pick my seat. They said, well, you don't have a seat, but if you want to select your seat in advance, give us $25, right? So I had to pay $25 just to tell them which seat I wanted, right? So by the time it was done, it was like $350 of extra fees. And I was like, do not fly Spirit Airlines. But it actually wasn't that bad. There was one stewardess who was super nice, and that made up for everything. But I was sitting next to this kid, and the kid looked like, he was from Chicago because we were flying to Chicago. This kid looked, like he literally looked like he could have, if somebody had said, oh, he's a gangbanger from the west side of Chicago who shot somebody on 108th Street, you would believe that, right? He had he had braids. He just kind of looked like a teenager, you know what I mean? And I wasn't scared of him. I mean, I sat next to him, but I didn't know, I'm friendly with people, but you just don't know, right? You don't know what you're sitting next to. Check this out. It turns out this kid was going to college and he's a computer science major. He was a sophomore computer science major. And I was like, this is so cool. This is so interesting because I couldn't have guessed who he was or what he did. It wasn't like I was going to make any preconceived bias toward him, but if you could literally have put him in front of white people and you could see where a cop would look at him and possibly shoot him. Right? Like he literally, oh, wait, this sister says, magnificent creature says, you were awesome and so kind on the plane to my son, Christian. Thank you. Oh, so you're here. Yeah. So his mom will tell you she's here. I met his mother. His mother, by the way, you scared me. So you didn't scare me, but it was like such a surprise. So she came over to talk to her son and she goes, and by the way, my son's father, he really loved you. He really thought you were great. And it turns out his dad was a dentist, and his father passed a couple years ago, and it broke my heart and made me sad because I really felt this poor kid's pain. And but I mean, just not because he showed it, but because I just can't imagine that. So I'm very sorry for what happened to your family. But I'll tell you what. It's like, she could probably tell you this, it reminded me, like he reminded me of myself at that age. We talked a little bit and it made me think about, when I was that age and how people saw me and they thought that I was something other than what I was. Like I remember when I first started to recognize my Blackness. It was a moment actually in college. I was a sophomore, just like this kid that was sitting next to me, Christian, and I was it was back in the day before we really had a lot of like computerized registration for classes. You couldn't register like on the internet and all like people can do now. But we had to wait in line, and the line was super long. The line would be like 2 hours long. And I had a library fee I had to pay. Like back then, even now, if you don't pay your fees, they won't let you register at a lot of schools, right? So I hadn't paid a library, fine, and I went and paid it. But the system that controlled the library fines didn't tell the system for registration that my fine was paid. So I waited in this line for 2 hours, and I get to the front of this line, and I'm trying to register for my classes, and the person's like, little white person's like, I'm sorry, but you can't register because you owe money in the library. And I was livid. I was so mad. I was like, no, that I paid that fine. Like, what are you talking about? Like I was heated, and I looked up, and I saw all these white people had just stopped talking, like they froze, and they were all looking at me, like they were afraid I was gonna go off and hit somebody. And I remember that kind of made me very sensitive. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, they're looking at a dangerous black man when all I was a college student who couldn't understand why he couldn't register, right? So ultimately, sometimes we don't see ourselves the way other people see us. And I think that's the confusion when it comes to Blackness, and why I don't think we can cater to the way whites choose to see us as animals or to see us based on stereotypes. I think that's their problem. That's not our problem, but it can become our problem if we're trying to navigate in spaces that white people roam, which is one of the reasons why, I would recommend to young black men, like the young man I saw on the plane. I think I said something to him about, if you're a black man, I think you should have your own business. I think you need to detach from that white system as much as possible until white people are ready for you. White systems are not prepared to absorb and to reward and to accept black greatness. They're just not. They're not designed to have a comfort space with truly competitive black males. They only have space for subordinate, submissive black males most of the time. And so I think black men should have their own businesses. By the way, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. Please hit the thumbs up and share button. Hey to everybody on Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins if you want to follow us there. Also, don't forget that this podcast is on iTunes. So if you have iTunes, please subscribe at iTunes. And also, last but not least, don't forget that on Monday night, we're doing the seminar on how to replace the college savings fund. Don't do 529 plans and all that stuff. I have a better plan that actually gives you and your family more economic options that include college, but also include trade school if that's what you want to do. It includes your online learning if that's what your child wants to do. Also, it includes a component that allows for the capitalization of business so that they can have a platform on which to execute their skills. One of the biggest problems we have in the black community right now, and I'm into solving problems. I'm a mathematician. I'm not good at just complaining about a problem. I want to fix it. And so one of the biggest problems that we have right now in our community is that black wealth is actually dropping. I don't know if you saw the study. Black wealth is expected to drop to zero. The median black wealth is expected to drop to zero within the next 30 years or so. And the reason for that is because you're spending too much going to college and your kids are going too much in debt, and many of them are dying in debt. So half of all black college graduates, not only are they sitting on top of the debt, but also it's killing their ability to build any wealth to even overcome the debt. So it's a double whammy. One, you're being hit with the debt. Number two, you're being crippled in your ability to make a comeback. So it's like a basketball game where they not only put you behind by 40 points, but then they make you play with a flat basketball and they break both of your kneecaps. So your chances of making a comeback are pretty much slim to none. So what I'm trying to say is don't fall behind by 40 points and don't let them break your kneecaps. And then you have a chance to win the game. So with college debt, basically with this model, I call it the BEEP. It's the word beep with 3 E's instead of 2. It stands for Black Economic and Educational Excellence Plan. Basically, with this plan, it allows your child to position themselves for maximum options and full empowerment economically long-term that will actually impact your family in a positive way for many generations to come. So if you're interested and you want to come out and join us on Monday night, I don't know the date of Monday. I think it's April 1st or something, but it's Monday night at 9 p.m. You can go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. It's not free to come, but there's a money-back guarantee if you're not happy for any reason, but you're going to love it. It's going to change your life. I guarantee it. Now, I was talking about the show Black Lightning, and I got a little bit off tangent, but y'all know how I do. This is about learning. This is intelligent black people. So we're going to talk about whatever comes to mind. And one of the things that I like about the show, I mentioned strong black families. I love that. I also love the fact that the show just has strong males. I give Salim Akil and his wife. I got to look up his wife's name. I think she works in the show too. I just give them so much credit because they understood. You can tell that they Mara Brock Akil, that's her name. You can really tell that they understand, blackness, that they understand what it's like to be black, and they understand what's important to include in a show that reflects black people in an appropriate way. Let me show you a picture of this couple. This is a beautiful couple right here. This is Salim and his wife. Now, again, there's that whole crazy Me Too scandal, which I honestly, I'm not convinced. It sounds like, if you got anything good going in your life, just know somebody's going to try to mess it up. And so, I think that basically from what I read through the lawsuit and the details, and I thought it was nonsense because a lot of that stuff can't be proven. And a lot of it was, just kind of ridiculous. It didn't make any sense, but I'll let you guys judge that. You can watch my video where I break all that down in another podcast. But what I love is that on this show, so many of the males are just strong men. They're not little pussy ass, wimpy, effeminate, men. They're not They're not, 80% gay. It's not that there's anything wrong with being gay, but you can't help a whole community when you have only gay feminine men. Like you're not going to be able to build anything. You're not going to be able to accomplish anything. You're not going to be able to reproduce. You can't reproduce through a man's butthole. You can only reproduce through a vagina. Right? So this idea that that being gay should be as normal as being straight in our community, that's some shit. That's some white people shit. That's not our shit. That's not who we are. That's not what we believe, in my opinion. That's not what I believe. Doesn't mean you can't be gay. Doesn't mean if you're gay and you're in here, some people in here might be gay, and we love you. I don't reject anybody, but I do reject political agendas designed to keep Black men uncompetitive and weak and effeminate. I do not think that that's what Black women want. Tell me, Black women, tell me, sisters, if you agree with me. I do not think that's what Black women want. I certainly know that's not what Black men want. And I know that in every society, you need certain men to be strong. So on this show, there's so many strong males. There's the main character who's like the superhero, Black Lightning. The bad guy is strong, but he's got a little bit more toxic masculinity, but he's a villain, so you expect that, right? But at least he's a masculine, type of dude. You got a young guy who's like this young sex symbol type guy. He's very masculine. You've got the police chief or whatever he is, police detective. He's masculine. The list goes on. I mean, it was great. I was like, wow. I was watching. I said, I just realized how brainwashed I am, like how screwed up media has made me, because I was really stunned by how many Black men there were on the show who were just, regular straight up brothers who build in the community, the pillars of the community. I just loved it. I thought that was awesome. There was a good reflection of Black love, not just stable Black families, but this Black man just loves the living shit out of this Black woman. This Black man he looks at this Black woman and he just thinks she's amazing. And even the young guy, he's chasing the Black woman. I love that because I think the Black woman deserves to be desired and admired and pursued. I really believe that. I believe that the Black woman is obviously, just the angel and the queen of the earth in so many ways in terms of how she was built. And I just like the idea that you have a show that just shows that, that gives them that respect. With the Black men, they ain't all chasing a bunch of Beckys. In fact, they actually do little sneak disses on white people. It's really kind of funny. The evil guy is the only guy on the show who had a white girlfriend. He was the only one that dated Becky. The good guys don't do that, right? Which I thought that was fun. I was like, oh, I see what y'all doing. Y'all doing I said they're doing like your boy Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele shits on white supremacy all the time. He's always making white people look stupid. And the thing is, I don't even think they know that he's making them look stupid. Like if you watch Us, the way the Black family's portrayed and the way the white family's portrayed is very different. So it's kind of funny because he's doing to them what they've always done to us. And I think it's great. That's why I respect and I support Jordan Peele also. I just like this generation of Black directors. The guy that made the Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, I thought that was cool. I think Ryan Coogler has done an excellent job. I'm very proud of him. So anyway, what else? I think that the show does a good job of reflecting the vast subtleties of Blackness. When I was talking about what it means to have your humanity, having your humanity does not mean that you're always good. I don't think that it means that you're always bad. Having your humanity means that you're always everything. Your people and your culture have the potential to be lots of things. We can be evil, we can be good, we can be everything in between. We can be tall, short, smart, stupid, whatever, right? Rich, poor, everything. And they do a good job of reflecting that. I mean, you got the old bootleg pastor, you've got the college student, who's into cross-sectionality and she has a lesbian relationship. But even the fact that they decided to do a lesbian relationship as opposed to two gay men, I think even that is a subtle way of them sort of understanding that the Black community has a greater tolerance for one than the other. Seeing two women together doesn't bother the Black community and Black men and Black women as much as seeing two men together, because I think people are just tired of that. Like they've had enough. They've got enough gayness from Lee Daniels and everything. I mean, damn near everybody on Empire is gay, right? And then they even push a narrative that says that every straight man is just a gay man waiting to happen. You ever seen that? Anybody ever notice that? Like where they push it so hard that they push it almost like the fact that you haven't explored your gayness. This is where it's going, honestly. It's going to the point where they're going to push it to the point where they're going to convince straight men, like, no, you've got some gayness inside of you. You just have to dig it out. if there's gayness inside of me, I don't want to dig it out. I'm happy with being who I am. So I don't need that. If I woke up one day and I looked at another man and if I was a kid and I looked at another man and said, hey, that looks good to me, then I think that you should love me, like everybody else. I don't believe in rejecting anybody because of what they do sexually. I don't believe in controlling what another man does with his penis. But I do think that, it's not fair and it's ridiculous and it's overkill when you're pushing the agenda onto people who are comfortable with who they are. That's the idea. Be comfortable with who the hell you are. As long as you ain't touching no kids and ain't nobody under 18, you ain't doing no R. Kellys or nothing like that, then you're good with me. I'm not going to judge that. Let's see. Thank you for your donation, DJ Dark Shades. I appreciate that. DJ Dark Shades says, alpha male in the house. Kick the betas out, brother. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. And yes, I would have made you a moderator, but I can't make you a moderator. But thank you for the donation. And as Vicky Dillon says, maybe return to you 10,000 fold or something like that. What real man wants to be gay, says John Doe. I'm not going to even touch that. I'm not going to, I don't go that far. It is what it is. Just, let me be who I'm going to be. I like the fact that they have, really, they really have, an excellent Black storyline. Like, I think that the storyline of Black Lightning is extremely good. The storyline is one where they take things from the real world, like the government planting crack in Black communities, and they flip it into a different drug called green light. And what happens is that this drug green light gives these people superpowers. So it's really deep on a metaphysical level, in the sense that what it says is, just like slavery, again, this tells me how deep they are. This was like, wow, this is really deep, so on this show, Black Lightning, and this is what I'm talking about, Black Lightning, and why I love this show, just in case you want to know what we're talking about. What was deep about that is that that's what happened in the real world. Every time they try to kill us, we always come back stronger. Every time, they plant drugs in the community, we have a whole generation of superheroes, that have overcome that, who are extraordinarily capable. They just have to be focused, right? Once you ignite the greatness in a Black person, you start seeing them do things that other people cannot do. Like, Black people, we are so powerful that, and I don't know if it's the melanin, I don't know if it's our environment, I don't know what it is, but we're so powerful that when we want to destroy, we can destroy like no other. We can destroy each other. We can destroy ourselves. We can destroy our communities. We can destroy whoever, right? But when we want to build and when we want to do something amazing, we become amazing like no other. We everything from sports and dancing all the way to science and law and everything else. You have no shortage of Black superheroes in our community, many of whom were beautiful roses that grew out of the concrete. They grew out of really tough, difficult circumstances, and it's what made them great. Like I'm a great Black man. I own that. I claim that. I want you to own your greatness too. We're all great in here. We're the League of Intelligent Black People. So we are the superheroes of our community. So therefore, we must embrace and develop our superpowers. And I will tell you that my superpowers did not evolve as a Black man until I went through some shit. Until I went through hell. I couldn't get to heaven until I went through hell. It wasn't until I went through the darkest moment of my life at the age of 28. I remember exactly when it happened. The darkest moment of my life, where I was sitting there crying at my desk. Whole life had fallen apart. School wasn't working out. Didn't have no money. The woman I loved had just dumped me for another man. I was heartbroken. And I loved her son. She took her son with her, and that just broke. I waited 20 years to reunite with that boy. 20 years, and I finally did. I waited 20 years, and we reunited. And he works with me to this day. And I remember that was the lowest point of my life. If I had not been a person that was stable or God-fearing, or a person who stayed away from alcohol and drugs, I could have easily been suicidal at that time. I really could have been. I mean, I was either suicidal or homicidal. I was, I could have been that person if I wasn't able to recenter myself. And it was in that moment where I emerged as a whole different person, a person that just was stronger and smarter and tougher and not afraid anymore. The things I used to fear, I had to confront those fears, because there's nothing like facing your worst fears and then realizing that you're okay, that you can overcome that. And then at that point, those things don't scare you anymore. So it sucks to go through hell. But when you're going through hell, and some of y'all might be going through hell right now, some of you may have gone through hell, but I encourage you to just look for the heaven on the other side of that hell. There is that light at the other end of that tunnel, and there is that strength and that greatness that comes out of the struggle. You cannot be great if you do not struggle. So you must go through the pain if you want to get the gain. And so this show reminds me of that. You know, when they talk about black people, like they tried to kill them, they tried to destroy them, they tried to ruin their community, and suddenly all these superheroes come out of the chaos that was created by white people. So to some extent, you know, racism, I hate saying it like this, but to some extent, racism is what made you great. Slavery is the reason why you have black athletes that are literally like so amazing that they almost come from another planet. Like Zion Williamson, the guy at Duke, this 280-pound, 6'7" brick. He's all muscle and he can jump out of the freaking gym. There is no white, there's never in the history of college basketball. Tell me if you're a basketball fan, if you've ever seen anybody. Tell me in the history of college basketball, have you ever seen a white Zion Williamson? Has there ever been a white guy that can do what Zion? That's one guy right now. There's several black guys that have been close to him. How many white guys have you ever seen do what he does? How many white guys have you seen that look like LeBron James? You know, all muscle, you know, strong as a bull, all this other stuff, right? There is no white Shaquille O'Neal. There is no white Michael Jordan. You know, so all these superheroes, just like in the comic books, they emerged out of the pressure that creates a diamond. JM Creations has it just right. They basically they emerged from, you know, 250 years of the worst, most brutal slavery known to man, and they survived that. And so it's like a hospital. That's why the strongest bacteria live in the hospital. The strongest bacteria live in the hospital because they try so hard to kill them. They try so hard to kill the bacteria, so most of them die. And the ones that survive, you can't kill those fucking things. Those damn, don't ever go to the hospital and get an infection. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. You go to the hospital and get an infection, they ain't gonna be able to fix that shit, because that bacteria is the strongest. That's the superhero bacteria, you know, in this world. So anyway, I like that show a lot. Let me see here. Thank you, DJ Dark Shades, for the donation. I appreciate that. DJ Dark Shades says Black Lightning is like Luke Cage. Both keep the culture and current events and strong black family. I agree, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Luke Cage, honestly, it kind of bored me, and it has to do with actually that last point I want to make about why I love Black Lightning. It has enough action. I like action. I mean, if you watch a superhero movie, even if it's black, you still want to see a superhero movie. You still want to see, you know, some explosions and fights and people getting thrown off buildings and, you know, people flying in the air and all that. You know, like I'm a big fan. Like I love the Marvel movies. I love all of that. Like that's a little factoid in case you ever want to know. And I don't want, and the DC comics are hit or miss. Marvel just has the right formula that just beautifully, you know, laid out. But DC is kind of hit or miss. Some of their shows, like Jessica Jones and some of these other shows, they try a little bit too hard to make it into a story. It's almost like those, like a really bad porn movie, right? I know this is a horrible example, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Please, come on, it's late night. Y'all grown folks, y'all know what I'm talking about. You ever watch, you know, back in the day when you watch like a dirty movie and they would like really have people in there that really want to be actors, and they really want to like actually write a whole story and make it into like a drama. And you're like, you know, people don't watch it for the drama. They're watching it for, you know what they watch it for. I'm not going to go into that too much because I'm not trying to get all freaky and weird with y'all, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like that. Like, I feel like some of those Marvel shows try too hard to make it into a good, into a story and drama and all of that shit. Don't nobody want to see that shit. They watch a superhero movie. They want to see superhero shit. They want to see people flying. They want to see people getting beat up. They want to see the bad guy attacking the good guy's family, and the good guy comes and saves the girl. Like, they want to see that. So I feel like Black Lightning gives you that in conjunction with all the other stuff. Luke Cage, I had to wait the whole damn show just to see him punch one person. You know, I didn't like that. But I mean, now all through the show, I saw a lot of beautiful black imagery. I mean, just amazing like no other. One cool thing about shows like this, when you have creators and writers and directors who are you know, who are really in touch with blackness. They're not just black faces. They actually understand, you know, the psyche of black people, and they're creating it for black people. One thing I like about it is that they bring back a lot of black actors that you respect, who aren't getting opportunities elsewhere, you know, who aren't getting opportunities in white spaces. So like in this show, just the last couple episodes, they had Bill Duke. I'm watching it on Netflix, by the way. So if you watch it live, like actually on TV, I do not watch TV. I just watch, I Netflix shit and whatever. So I might be a season behind you on Black Lightning. I just want to make sure, I want to let you guys know that. But they brought in Bill Duke, Clifton Powell. And these are actors that white people don't know, but black people all know. You know, they all, when they see Clifton Powell's face, they know who that is. When they all see Bill Duke's face, they know who that is. Remember him? Remember him from Menace to Society when he's like, you know you don't fucked up, don't you? You know you don't fucked up, don't you? You said that you had the bottle of beer and blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah. So Bill Duke. There's another one that I saw. There was the lady from Living Single. I forgot her name, but she's a great actress. Tobias. Yeah, Tobias is an excellent villain. I just really think that it's great because I think the show's done really well. I love the way the storyline's laid out, and I think it's awesome. So let me see. I'm gonna look at some of your comments. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. Also, don't forget that the podcast is now on iTunes, so you can subscribe on iTunes. And if you want to join us on the seminar on Monday on creating a long-term economic plan for your children, you can go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. Okay, so let's see here. Cool Dude says, "Hey boys, talk to me about Greenleaf." I don't watch that shit. I think ain't Greenleaf like one of those Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey shows? Man, you know, I can tell you just fucking with me. You know I can't. Oprah, damn white lady. Let me see here. Her and Michelle Obama, they just, I mean, I'm just like, God, I mean, it just disgusts me. I can't tolerate. I mean, I will talk about Michelle Obama later because that book, she's selling a lot of books because she's basically throwing black people under the bus. I would prefer that she had just not mentioned Jeremiah Wright, as opposed to mentioning him the way that she did. She just shit all over this man's legacy. This man's been sacrificing for black people since forever, cleared a path for her and Barack, and she just writes a passage that basically makes white people happy. And then she's up here glorifying George Bush. Get out of here, you raggedy ass. Don't make me mad. Y'all done got me fired up, man. Let me get back into this. I'll talk about Michelle Obama tomorrow. I literally need a good night's sleep so I can make sure I don't say anything that I'm going to regret. Let's see. Bottom line says, Dr. Boyce, you definitely don't watch comic book shows because of the low budget. Black Lightning has very little action. They do have a good story, but no action. I think the action's good. And I don't watch a lot of comic book shows, but I watch a lot of comic book movies, but I don't read comic books. I always thought comic books were just kind of weird. They didn't grab me the way they grabbed other people. So, but I do like all the Marvel stuff. I like the DC stuff. DC, unfortunately, they just know how to really fuck up a good story. Like who can fuck up Batman versus Superman? What the fuck, man? You got Batman fighting Superman and you can't do that right? Seriously? Anyway, let me keep going. Black Lightning is a Netflix show. Yes, you can watch it on Netflix. Tobias is something serious. Yes, Tobias does a great job. He's very, very good. Let's see, Stacy Doe. Thank you for your donation, Stacy, by the way. I think Stacy's flirting with me. Let me see what you say, Stacy. She said, your lips are nice too, Boyce. I can look at you all night long. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. I'm feeling myself. I get one flirtatious comment per year. So you're the one, you're going to be the one woman who flirted with me in 2019. So thank you very much, Stacy Doe. I appreciate you. I would love to moderate your channel if you like. Yeah, DJ Dark Shades. I can't make you a mod from where I'm sitting. I would like to, but I can't because you're on the phone and I'm not able to do that. But I will try my best to see if I can figure out a way to make it happen tonight. Yeah. Basically, I mean, if you want to donate to the channel or something, like, I'll let you be a mod. Just don't be like a spy. Like we have people that come in and try to mess everything up. Oh, here we go. Wait, hold on. I'll let you. Let me hit this button. Okay, hit the thumbs up button. I'm gonna make DJ Dark Shades a mod. Okay, so you're a moderator, so please don't be a traitor that's coming here to sabotage what we're doing. Tobias is one of the best villains out there. Yeah, Tobias, the villain, is probably one of the best actors on the show. He deserves a lot of respect. In Luke Cage, Maurice Taylor says, in Luke Cage, you had a representation of every nation as gangs who were trying to become powerful. Okay, interesting. Luke Cage first season was off the chain, says cool dude. Okay. DC has the best TV shows and cartoons. That's debatable. Some of that DC shit, they need to just take that off the air, in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is. Would love to see Black Captain Marvel movie too. I thought Captain Marvel was a white girl, but maybe I went to go see this Captain Marvel. That's when I saw she was white. Luke was great. It's a metaphor as to how nations go to war to become the leading nation. Okay. Black Panther 2, it's cool. I'm happy. Thank you, Windu777 for the donation. I really appreciate that. Jimmy Trinar, when do you sleep? I actually sleep quite a bit. It's just I don't waste time when I'm awake, and that's why it seems like I'm extremely productive because I'm very conscious of time. If you ever want to be successful and really accomplish a lot, manage your time like it's money. Like, be aware of what you do every 15 minutes of your day. I'll tell you a secret. I had a long, 2 hour long conversations with a guy named Harry Smith, who's the brother. He happens to be the brother of Will Smith. And me and Harry, when we met each other, we just hit it off like gangbusters because we're both smart black guys that love financial stuff and history and talking about everything. So we would just talk and talk and talk. He's a great guy. There's two people in Hollywood I hit it off like that with him and Daryl Bell. Daryl Bell used to play Ron from A Different World. Good brother. I bought him on the channel. Those are two guys where when I see them, like, we just talk forever because there's an endless stream of interesting, intriguing, cerebral conversations, and I respect these guys immensely. Well, one of the things that Harry and I talked about is how we both became good at managing time when we became conscious of time and blocked our time off. Like he said, in college, they taught him how to break his day into 15-minute blocks. And he would pay attention to what he did with every 15-minute block. So if he watched TV for 3 15-minute blocks, he'd say, wow, I've watched TV for 45 minutes. He'd become very aware of that. So that would lead him to go do something else. And he started realizing how much time he actually had, which is very different from just letting your time just kind of go by and just kind of doing whatever is in front of you. Next thing you know, you run out of time. You don't know where your time went. So time is like money. With money, if you're conscious, like if you're really nickel diming yourself and paying attention to every penny you spend and recording it, you're more likely to keep your money than if you just, throwing it out there, making it rain, $10 here, $20 there. Next thing you know, you're broke. So manage your time like it's money, and that's how you'll be able to get a lot done. So I'm an expert on time management. I actually have a whole class on it if you're interested. If you want to go check it out, it's a class on goal setting, time management, overcoming obstacles, or dealing with haters. Everything that I use in my life, I literally documented all this into one program in the Black Business School that you can take, and you can get a certificate. The URL is blackkeystogreatness.com. That's blackkeystogreatness.com. So feel free to check it out, blackkeystogreatness.com. There was a Black Captain Marvel on the Avengers team in the 80s. Okay, I'm a big comic book fan since 79. Okay, Windu, that's cool, man. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Thank you for the information. Doc, do you realize that Black Lightning is a DC character? Yes, I do. And that's why I say it's the only DC show that I can think of that I really watch, honestly. Let's see, Berdine, I'm learning to manage my time as well. That's why I can't even sleep. Hey, Dr. Boyce, you should get the CW app so you can watch Black Lightning for free and also catch up on the newest episodes. Oh, okay. I didn't know CW had an app, but thank you for telling me, Terry. I got so many apps to watch so much stuff. I can't watch everything because I'm working and stuff. And so it's watching TV is kind of hard, but I do pick, like what I'll do is I'll tend to be monogamous with TV shows. Like I'll pick one show or two shows and kind of just watch those. And I'll do that for like 6 months. And then I'll switch over. Cause I'm gonna tell you like this, when Game of Thrones comes out, it's a wrap. Like that's my show, right? I love my white people shows are Game of Thrones, Billions, and Billions is a good show on Showtime, I believe. And what's another one? Oh, this show called Succession. Succession is about a wealthy family where they're trying to figure out who's going to inherit the billions and who's going to control the company. But it's like a dark comedy, and it's really, really good for smart people. I think you guys will like that too. Let's see here. Ant Fresh says mod life. Mod life. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. Let's see. Eric Donaldson says, Boyce, you were corrected by Jeremiah Wright, one of the best pastors in the world. Jeremiah Wright is a motherfucking legend. He is a legend. And Michelle Obama, how dare she use her big white platform where she's making all this money as an opportunity to strike her white lightning down onto Black people who are in the struggle. I mean, I can understand you going out here making your money. Go make your money. Go do your dance for white people, where you sit up there as an iconic figure who isn't getting anything done in the Black community. The Black community is just as bad now as it was when you and your husband took over. Fine, go make your money. Go make your 50 million, whatever they're paying you. But don't use your power to go and attack Black people. Like same thing with Oprah. Like it's very weird. It's clearly meritorious manumission. Like she's clearly being rewarded for being someone that white people can trust. She's being rewarded for being the good slave. And that's fine if you want to get that reward. Just don't hurt anybody when you're doing it. Jeremiah Wright was sacrificing for Black people when you and Barack were in diapers. Jeremiah Wright was fighting for you before you were born. Jeremiah Wright was fighting for you back when your husband couldn't afford a 1975 Chevy Capri Classic. Jeremiah Wright was fighting for you even when you weren't fighting for him anymore. So shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Seriously, just shut the fuck up. Go get your money and just shut up. Stop it. Just stop it. You don't have to go back and disrespect the elders. You ain't got to do that. And because when you do that, you're upsetting people like me. You're upsetting a lot of people, and it's just not right. I mean, I don't want to dislike Michelle Obama. It doesn't make life better for anybody. Not for me, because I get people that get mad at me because I'm mad at Michelle, but I can't go for that nonsense. I mean, she's kissing up to George Bush. I mean, every time they're taking a picture, they acting like they gonna sneak back and fuck each other. Like they seriously, like they really look like they're trying to have a thing going on, and they're playing it up. They're playing it up. They know that the public loves it, so she's all cuddled up with him and snugged up with him, whatever she can be. And don't think that doesn't play out in her book sales. Don't think that she's not selling more books because she's cuddled up with a white man. For Black women in her position, the key to really that level of success is if you act like you want to snuggle up with a white man, like that's going to get you up there. I mean, there's no coincidence that she does that with George Bush. Tiffany Haddish is fantasizing about a white man every time she goes on TV. If you look at, was it Kamala Harris, married a white man? That's how she got elevated up the ranks to be able to run for president. He happens to be this powerful attorney in San Francisco. A lot of the Black actresses I've seen on big shows. I watched a show called Madam Secretary, and there's a Black lady on there. And I said, let me Google her and see what she's all about. I look her up. She's married to a white man. What was it? What's the other lady? Jackie Reed just married this white guy. Like it's almost like there's this belief that being married to a white man is your come up. Like that's going to elevate you. Like that's going to get you the real rewards. Like you ain't got to deal with us lowly, pathetic Black men anymore. You get to go to heaven. Like white people will take you to heaven. And it's fine. I mean, you can't tell people who to love. They can love who they want. If somebody wants to be gay, they can be gay. If they want to be biracial, they can do all that. But it's kind of it's as pathetic to me when a Black woman is solely chasing white men or putting herself in a position where a white man is going to elevate her. You ain't no better than these brothers who only think white women are attractive and think Black women are garbage. You're just like them. So I think it's kind of tacky. Would I vote for Donald Trump if he gave Black people reparations? TJ Mack asked. If it was enough, yeah, I would. I mean, if it was like, if I knew for sure. The problem is politicians lie so much, so you never know if they're going to follow through. But I don't care who the politician is. If the politician says they're going to give reparations to Black people, and it's a number that makes sense to me. A number that makes sense is 5 trillion or higher. 5 trillion or higher. Really, we're owed 10 to 15 trillion, but 5 trillion or higher. And you really showed me that it was actually going to get done, which I don't even know exactly how that would play out. But yeah, I wouldn't care. I'm not voting for the Democrats. I bet Michelle runs for office in some form, says Mansa. She probably will. I think there's a lot more to the Obamas than the public knows. I think it's going to be funny when the scandals start breaking and people start finding out more about their life and their past and everything else. Sometimes a sister just can't find the right brother. Brother says Earth Angel. That's true. And if that's the case and you've really tried, then there's nothing wrong with you choosing what works for you. I've never met a interracial couple and just treated them like crap because they were an interracial couple. I think that's kind of ignorant. I have people in my family that married interracially. Why would I do that? But I'm just talking about people that really, that feel that, like I dated a girl like that in college. I was the first Black boyfriend she ever had, and I was the last Black boyfriend she ever had. She ended up marrying a white guy, and I knew her psyche. Her psyche was that because of how she grew up poor, she grew up in the hood, and she grew up around a lot of really terrible Black men. And so she was one of those sisters that just hates Black men. Does anybody know that? Anybody know any Black women who just really hate Black men, like just really think Black men are the reason for all their problems? Anybody know that? Tell me if you know a sister like that. Like, and what happens is that, you grow up and let's say it starts with, your daddy. Let's say your daddy wasn't there for you. Your daddy, first man you ever loved, first man you ever trusted, wasn't there for you. So then, that right there is already going to set a lot of things off balance. And then you go through life and let's say you run into a couple of bad thugs, or you have an uncle that does something he shouldn't do, a molestation situation or something like that. And then it kind of compounds through time. And then on top of that, you're hearing hip hop that's disrespectful as hell to Black women. And then you just grow up just thinking Black men are garbage. And there are Black women who think that. So these are women who almost feel, I believe, that like being with a white man almost cleanses them. It like makes them cleaner. It makes their life better. And my girlfriend in college was like that. Like she really felt that based on our conversations, she seemed to feel that white people just were like a more balanced, healthier group of people to be around in general. Her favorite movies were this movie called Father of the Bride, which was a Steve Martin movie about how this white girl gets ready for her wedding day, and it's all beautiful and romantic. It's a romantic comedy. And her other favorite movie was Whitney Houston, Kevin Bacon, or Kevin Costner. Remember that? The Bodyguard. That's not a coincidence that The Bodyguard was her favorite movie. You know, that's not a coincidence. You know, and then she ends up going on and marrying a white man. It is what it is. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Hit the thumbs up button, please. Please hit the thumbs up button. You guys hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. We need the thumbs up. Also, please share this conversation. Also, don't forget that Monday night we're doing that special lecture on creating the Black Economic and Educational Excellence Fund for your child. I will break it down for you, show you exactly what to do, exactly why it works. You will walk away convinced. You will walk away educated. You will love it. It's going to be amazing. So if you want to come in and join us for this private small group discussion, please go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars with a S.com. All right. So I'm out of here. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care now. Peace.